I saw that the government is looking for investors to invest in a certain, one of the key areas. There is KICC and then there is Jomo Kenyatta. Is that true? Is it true? The question I ask, these foreigners that are coming in with money, true? Let's say it's 5 billion, let's say. I'd like to ask you a question. Have you given place to locals? Are you telling me there are no billionaires in Kenya? Are you telling me locals, 10 locals cannot come together and raise the same money so that the produce can remain to our people? When I saw it, I asked myself, why need to bring foreign investors to lift what belongs to us Kenyans? Have you exhausted Kenyans and found out that there is no Kenyan that has that capacity to do that? Have you asked whether there are 10 people around so that the proceeds, so that these resources will remain in our land? But it's a deal. 2 beneficiaries, 4 beneficiaries. You see what is happening? A nation whom you have not known shall eat. That's what it means. Foreigners will invest, take what belongs to you and take it away. Because you reject to hear God. How can a whole police come and say they don't know who's abducting people? And then a leader of a nation comes and says tutakomesha. Sasa unakomesha nini na ifa ujui? Me, I don't know. You know, and then I saw a preacher of the gospel come out, a great preacher come out and condemn it. Then a few days later, they came and said we don't have a problem. We have a problem. John C.W. has a problem because we voted for this regime. What a shame. I'm not saying the young people did not do wrong, but take them, present them before a court. At least arrest them for 10 years. Watch out to semange ndio wale. Are you a parent? I'm a parent. Do you know what it means not to see your children? That you don't know where your child is. Present them. When you take them, there is something called an obi. Is that true? Book them, book them, book them. Say, uyu nina, ule waembu ni nani? Uyo. Una nani wapi huko mwingine? Muranga wako? Ngong. Sasa kama ni Ngong, we should be able to go to a Ngong police and see a booking. But you can't operate a nation as thugs. And when we tell you pastors, don't go. Now look what happened. You went. A few days later. Me, I'm wondering, when you went, couldn't you ask, where are the people you abducted? Me, that's the question. No man, isn't it? Me, I will die there. You know, Guide. Oh. I saw someone say, oh, Mr. We are praying for you. We are not praying for you. Tell us where these people are. Let's start there. Let's stop playing with the people. Tutakomesha. It's not about kukomesha. Reproduce the people. Unakomesha, and then some opposition leader comes there joyriding on everything. Ati nimeambia huyu nani awache hiyo. Unasema unatuambia tufanye? He says that hiyo mambo imeisha. Why don't you say I told him to produce? Start there. Produce the people that are abducted. First. Second, stop it. But you can't tell us stop it. What about the people that have not been produced? Ningojeni. I speak in parables to the wise. Nakuja. You wait. We are coming. Some of you should be arrested. You take a nation into obvious routes. And then now you young people are and other fools that I see rising up. You are introducing tribal problems when the problem is national. Ati we ni Mukikuyu, we ni Mujaluo. Did I want to be born a Kikuyu? Did you want to be born a Jaluo? It's behaving like that that's a problem. It's not being born. You can't castigate people because they are born in a certain place. Me, sometimes you shock me. Some things me I see, I'm waiting. Men of God, we became so cheap. You try coming for my conference and you throw tear gas. You try it. Before you throw it, it will turn to yourself and hit you. You must fear. But you see, men of God, how can a man of God be? And even you, man of God, you are tribal at the same time. This is what tuko na shida tu. wachungaji ni wa mkate, inchi ni... Why are we doing this? Me, I'm shocked. Then you come and take 3 people here from the mountain so that you can get a certain tribe. After meeting a leader, whoever you're going to meet, it's not them that made you. In fact, it's so shocking. Let me, which camera? Kuja. Let me tell these leaders of ours. We have the power to say who will not be president. None of you that is trying to position yourself, including the mountains and the where, none of you Jesus records. None of you knows. Hakuna mtu Yesu amemjua hapo. Stop cheating yourself. King Ping, pin of the king. Kuna hizo vitu. Me, I'm telling Kenya, forget the tribe that is in power. Look for service. Are you hearing me, Kenya? Hata nimefika aje huku kwa muti. Kenya is a beautiful nation. Every day you wake up, even your brain gets tired. Shame on leaders that allow 20 hours are going to picket. Why? Ni nini huyo mtoto amekosa? Because you're running a nation the wrong way. Me, I will never, at the words I'm saying, I mean my words. You know, I'm one of those people that doesn't speak before I think. I'm hearing myself as I'm speaking. I'm hearing. You have made these young people to do what they are doing. And then a whole policeman comes and says, I wish you would have seen the way he looks in his face. We don't know who's abducting them. All those of you that are pastors, that you went to see the president, I challenge you, what word did Jesus tell you? None of you are sent by Jesus. You are a concoction of relationships. And you are the people spoiling Kenya. You don't allow 7 men that have understanding of time. Allow the king. They have no access to tell him what is happening. You will be forgotten. And the time has come to say things the way they are. You can hear what you want to hear. But for the sake of the kingdom, we will lay waste anything that is against it. I challenge you to write on social media. What did Jesus tell you to tell the president? Because no man met a king in the Bible without a purpose or a word. What was the word? Tell us. Then you come out and clap when Kenya is fading. You know what it took us? Something many of you will never know. What it took us to negotiate for peace. This is the time Jehovah put us in place for such a time. And we will not be Vashti. But if you remain completely silent at this time, relief and deliverance will come or will arise from the Jews from another. My name is C.W. John, a little man from the village. I challenge any man that went to see the president, the pastoral. I challenge you to write, what did Jesus tell you to tell him? And if we boast, we will boast in Christ. For we have understanding of times. Kenya, you know, some of you are just young, ignorant people. This is not a game. If you knew what is happening, and then you call pastors to call me to threaten us, you joke. May you perish with your money. You cannot threaten a dead man. A church is not for sale. You know, when I came from addressing the nation, now you are even using witchcraft against us. May you perish. May you perish. For such a time like this, we came. Jehovah preserved us in his light, and we will not be sold. If the president is wrong, you tell him you are wrong. This is the problem, Mr. President, of pastoring your pastors. Mr. President, cabinet, you know, today I called one of them. Where is Kema? As my witness. Where is Wycliffe? Are you my witnesses? Okay. Called one cabinet minister, and they answered. I told the minister, this is not the plan. And before you lose your throne, repair. This is not the time to go and encourage the president. Many of you, I would like to ask you that met him yesterday and those other days, quality damage control preachers. Meanwhile, you can start what I call Papa syndrome, defending Papa. You can defend all your papas. But when the time comes, the sword will cut and it is sharper. It cuts religiously, it cuts religiously, it cuts governments, it cuts. We had a plan. And that's why I've told you, I used to say it. What did you used to tell me? Preach Christ. Preach Christ. We shouted for almost 1.5 years. We shouted, don't increase tax. It will burn a nation. You reject to hear. Because now, pastors have to be friends with people. I've called the president to no avail. I've called the deputy president to no avail. I've called. The president has my messages for over a year. But before then, we were darlings. You used us. Jehovah has his day. Now that there is a problem, you are calling us secretly. No. There is no secret. You didn't look for votes in our houses. You looked for them publicly. So you will come out publicly. Yes. Hakuna. All those of you, how many people of your age died? Tell us. It means you are not the representative of these people. You are just cheating yourself that you are representing them. It was very wrong, and I don't know who is advising the president. It was wrong of you to bring the church now. You should not. And let me make another advice, because you people reject to hear. So that's why we decided we are going to shout. Oh, this, I saw someone writing, this is not the right way to address. Hey, our people dying in our houses. What better way to address? Do you know how much you have tried to insist? Because we saw the problem. And because you have rejected to hear, we will shout publicly. There is nothing in private anymore. Our children are not dying in private. They are dying in public. And I will balance it. Give me time. That's why I'm not your average preacher. If you are struggling to hear this, please, there is a church next door. This is the time we were called for such a time as this. So if you have your own way of preaching Christ, I beg you, go and begin Lekwene or Lutapea Hub International Group of Ministers. The church is not aware. And that's why today I want to take time. And I want to warn all those people that are going to use these platforms now to increase their own financial capacities. I said it the other day. If you are listening to me, any politician, as I asked the minister today, if you gave me forget 1,000, 1 Kenya shilling, shout, then let the earth say that I'm a liar. But I will say this in parables. The church is not for sale. Stop doing damage control. If you have made a mistake, you come out to the people and you say, I'm sorry. I want to warn this government the second thing. I heard the president saying that all those people that did that offense to Nawafuata, Mr. President, follow me. You know, unfortunately, we are not under any man. I've never seen messages of people calling me my son like this season. When did you give birth to me? When we were struggling there, I was no one son. I'm your son. I'm your son. I'm not aware.
Personally, as a prophet of God and as a servant of God, I don't support him. One, because Ruto William killed so many Kenyans in Kondele, killed so many Kenyans in Nairobi. So many Kenyans died. After this death, now Ruto and Raila sit down. Then they say work together. They are working together on top of the graves of Kenyans. They are dancing on top of the graves of Kenyans. If Raila was so serious about his patriotism for the Kenyan people, he shouldn't have joined hand with Ruto, who is a killer, a murderer, a vampire. He wouldn't have done so. And for that reason, I 70% doubt whether he will make it. If he make it, okay. But I, Apostle Michael Band, I don't support. I know many people will say you don't care. You don't care. My heart is not your heart. It is your heart that does not care. Praise the Lord. You can say whatever you want. You have your mouth. I've said my own. Everybody in his office. There's office of the fool. There's office of the wise. There's office of the ignorant. I don't know which your office is. Mine is a prophet. That's what I've said. I am against it. There's no way government, politicians can always be uniting for their own selfish gains to oppress Kenyans. This is oppression. Why couldn't he just stand there? Amechoka na kwenda kwa street. Si angekaa kando. Awache wale wanataka kupigana wapigane. Anaingia pale kukat deal ya nini? Na cut deal na mtu ambaye ni devil worshipper. Ruto is a devil worshipper, disguising himself as an angel of God in the church. Very nonsense man. Very evil, wicked man. Wickedness, even if you look at him like this, wickedness is written all over him. The other day he came in a vision. He was begging me to agree with some of things. I told him I don't agree. And I left him seated there and I went. I can never agree with Ruto. not on anything. Raila goes and unites with him. I pray that he fails at ACU. If he succeeds, okay, that's his own problem with his family. It is his salary. I don't care. But my prayer is, Apostle Michael, that he fails in that quest. We cannot have politicians that are chameleons, always changing like this. They're getting richer and richer, and Kenyans are getting poorer and poorer. Nonsense. Very nonsense. They should have left Ruto to perish because Ruto tried to play God. You can never play God. I said before, and I say here again, no amount of interventions will help Ruto. You can never play God. And you cannot dance. You cannot dance on people's blood. You cannot drink people's blood. You can't do that. Now he's back on top of cars going there. That's all he knows. Kutangatanga tu, huku. Hakuna kitu huyu mtu anajua. Ameharibu kila kitu. Kila kitu ameharibu. Mtu aliambia Ruto ati Ruto ni genius. Alikudanganya. Alikuwa anataka pesa yako. You have nothing here. Nonsense. Na bado kiboko ya Mungu inakuja. Tatuangwa vizuri. Think you dey wise. Nonsense man. Clueless. Rudderless. Pointless. Resign bwana. Toka hapo. Nonsense.
Now the next election.
Yes.
Unajua hawa ndio watakuwa nasema fagia wote. Ama mtasema namna gani? This generation.
Yes.
They used their might because they didn't vote. The largest vote in the last election.
You like me, why them a fight me, You like me, chewing a bone, a bite it. You like me, chewing a bite it. Don't like power and you jump. When I touch them, when I touch them, even if we put them. When I touch them, they find not touch them. When I touch them, what down and I soak them. In farm, I say, I bust them.